All right, we are live. What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about two funnels that you need to scale your business to 7 figures. So, this training is specifically for agency owners who want to build an audience, want to build a personal brand, attract more leads, and convert that attention into clients. Now, if we're just meeting for the first time, my name is Nathan. I'm a business coach. And I've spent the last few years helping online business owners scale. I've had my own agency, which I've scaled to multiple 6 figures and since shut down to focus full time on coaching. And I'm going to share with you a quick story of kind of how I came across this information and how I've helped other businesses implement it to bolt on multiple 6 or even 7 figures of revenue in their business. So basically, I'm going to share my screen here. There's the old way of doing things, which was basically in the past, and people still do this and it still works, but people would run a VSL type funnel where they're getting people to opt in for some kind of video training. And then off the back end of that video, people are booking calls and becoming clients. Now, that used to work. And the whole model was kind of like this. Like I put in $1 and I get like $2 out, and I just keep doing this over and over and over again. And it works, but there's some pitfalls there. And basically, with the VSL funnel, you get a lot of reactive buyers, you get a lot of transactional buyers. You're talking to mostly cold leads if you're doing this to cold traffic. If you're doing it to a warm audience, it's a whole other story. And that's kind of part 2 of what we'll be talking about today, is actually when to position these funnels to your audience to get the maximum impact and to get the best clients from it. So the old way was kind of like this. It's like a VSL. You run your ad to the VSL. You get pretty much $2 for every dollar you put in, and you keep doing it over and over and over. But what I'm going to show you today is how you can take this same dollar, and maybe in year 1, it becomes 2. Year 2, it becomes 3. Year 4 becomes 4, and it just continues to have a compounding effect. So instead of the VSL, which maybe looks like this and then kind of falls off because your ads fatigue, or you have to constantly tweak the VSL and rework it, this method is going to show you a way to kind of get consistent revenue ongoing throughout the lifetime of your business. So basically, the VSL funnel is what I use to get this Comma Club award. We would run the VSL as either an ad or run traffic to a lead magnet with a VSL on the next page, and then get people to book calls from there. Now, the problem again with that is transactional buyers, reactive buyers, people who don't really know you or know your brand. So you need really strong sales team and strong marketing assets to really get people bought in ahead of the call. And it's very complicated if you don't have your organic marketing dialed, or you're not converting clients regularly online. I would not jump into a VSL right away. So looking at the two funnels that I'm recommending for 2024, 2025 and beyond, funnel number 1 is something I call the attention funnel. And this is essentially just getting people to pay attention. The main goal is relevancy. So we want people to see you as being relevant, being somebody who can help solve their problems. And really, we have like 10 seconds to kind of like capture somebody's attention online, show them in their mind that you're worth paying attention to, and pretty much get them to opt in for something or become part of your list. So we really just, again, want to show you're relevant and you can help solve their problems. And we want to earn trust and attention with this type of funnel. So to pull this off, you need a few key things. So you need to know your avatar inside and out. You need to have your messaging dialed. You need to have your positioning. You need to understand how people perceive you and how you come across to your market. And you kind of need to have like little bit of a backstory, or at least like a way that people perceive you through the content that you're putting out and through the copy and how you're driving people into this attention funnel. So kind of what to offer here, there's a number of things that you can do. You can do an ebook, you can do a guide, you can have like a 10 to 20 minute training. Basically anything that is going to give people a rough idea of like how you can help them, and something that's worth like 10 to 20 minutes of their time that they can consume and make a key decision here if they're going to continue to pay attention to you or not. Because these days, trust hurdle is super high. Just running traffic to a VSL to try to get 2x ROAS is probably not going to continue to work into the future. Honestly, I think that this is the future direction of where marketing is going, is long-term brand building, long-term trust building, and having this compounding effect where your ROAS just multiplies over time because you're not burning leads. You're not getting people to book calls too soon where they're interested in what you offer, but if they're not sold on you, or if your offer is a bit of a commodity and they're just shopping around and they say no, it's going to be a lot harder to get them as a client in the future, versus if you have more of a long-term nurture strategy and you have a way to also modulate people between these two funnels, which we'll get into in a minute. So in addition to this, you could also do a case study that they opt in for that's relevant to them. You could do a challenge. I would recommend like a mini challenge where it's maybe like 3 or 5 days, and each day you could have like a pre-recorded video that's like 10 or 15 minutes that helps them solve a major problem in their business, right? Nothing too extreme right out the gate. It's challenging to run a challenge to cold traffic because, again, they're not bought in. There's not a lot of trust there yet. And your cost per lead and everything else is going to be super high with cold traffic. So on the opt-in page, you can get their name, their email, their phone number, and the funnel kind of looks like this. So you have opt-in, obviously you get their email, you can put the phone number, start doing SMS marketing. From there, you have a thank you page, and you can go one of two ways with this, right? So either way, I would put a video on the thank you page, and I would have a CTA for them to get into your next funnel. So with this, you could have a Facebook group link. You could do an apply, but I would be careful with that because, again, if you get people to apply too soon, you tend to get lower quality applications. You're talking to cold leads. The sales calls suck. If you do this in volume and you're like looking to book calls in volume, then you have to get a sales team involved. Your sales team has to be trained. They need to be managed. They need to be really good. And personally, I would rather have like a one-man marketing and sales team and build that business to 7 figures without needing a whole team of people that I'm managing or anything like that. So I would suggest, you get people into a Facebook group off the back end of this thank you page, or like some kind of community. I know Skool is super popular right now. And on the video on the thank you page basically takes them into a deeper dive on the topic that they downloaded a lead magnet for. So, let's use me as an example. I have a scaling guide right now. So my video would be like 3 pillars of scale, and I'd talk about lead generation, client retention, and sales. So from there, you do a CTA to get them into the next funnel, or to like the next step in the process where they can experience more of you. Now, on the back end of this, you have your email sequence, right? And this is pretty important because in the days following the time when somebody opts in is when they're really going to make up their mind about whether or not they're going to continue to pay attention to you. And so this is why relevancy is so important, and understanding your client avatar is so important, having your messaging dialed, because really we're just in the beginning trying to get people to pay attention, listen to what we have to say, see that we're relevant, see that we can help them, and then we transition them into the next funnel, which I will get into in a moment here. So with emails, it's good to have like 8 to 20 emails over 2 to 4 weeks after they opt in. And in these emails, there's a few things that you want to cover, right? You want to show people your process, your method, any frameworks that you have. This is all useful content to include in these opening emails, like your story, introducing yourself, establishing and positioning yourself as an expert who can help them, and sharing results later in the sequence. I wouldn't come out the gate with that. Any PR that you've been a part of. So if there's been interviews that you've done, or like articles, or maybe you bought an article in entrepreneur.com or something that you can feature, things like that is going to help build authority, credibility, and trust. And any like links to other places where they can experience your magic. So your YouTube channel, your social medias, your Facebook group, your school community, whatever it might be. And then also a CTA to the next funnel, which can be evergreen, cannot be evergreen. We'll talk about that next. But this is basically very simple attention funnel. You just want to establish relevancy. You want people to opt in for something valuable that's going to move the needle a little in their business, that they're going to consume in like 10 to 20 minutes. And then they're going to make a decision if they're going to keep paying attention to you or not. And then on the thank you page, I would suggest that you just have a video that dives deeper into the topic that the lead magnet's related to. And you get people into like a community or a Facebook group somewhere where you can kind of increase your intimacy and your omnipresence with them. So I wouldn't recommend having people apply too soon or book calls too soon, because again, you'll be talking to people who are very cold. You really want to warm people up before you get them booking calls. And then you'll also be able to tell the effectiveness of your messaging through the funnel, because by the time people are warmed up to you and booking calls with you, you'll kind of see who you're attracting as well. So that's funnel number one, the attention funnel. And then funnel number two is the conversion funnel. So we captured attention, and then we want to move that attention to conversion. And so essentially how this is done is through something like a webinar. You can have a VSL here. You can have a live event that you do in person. You can do a live stream, which is pretty simple, especially if you have a community. Live stream in the community is great. You can have a traditional application funnel. You could do a challenge, like a more in-depth challenge, or like a workshop, something where they're spending like an hour or two with you a day, and then you invite them into something on the back end. So the whole idea here, just to draw this out, is we were taking this attention and we're moving people through the stages of awareness in a traditional funnel to a conversion event. All right. That's my funnel. So effectively what we're doing is we're taking people's attention, we're nurturing them through content, through emails, through adding a ton of value. And when they're warmed up to us, we invite them to something like a webinar, or a live event that we do, or a workshop. And after that workshop, we're able to pitch our program. We're able to invite them to work with us more closely. And this is really that simple. It's going to be a game changer. And this is something that I've helped, other businesses add on, where they've scaled up, added multiple 6 figures of revenue, or even doubled their business just by, having these two funnels working in tandem. So again, the whole idea with the attention funnel is growth. So we want to grow our audience. We want to garner more attention from people on the internet, which is a skill in and of itself. And we want to establish relevancy. So we want to grow our audience. We want to establish that we're relevant to them, that we're an expert who can help them. And then once we do that, we're inviting them to our next funnel, which is a conversion event, which results in sales and people signing up for our program. And you can do that through having any type of medium like a webinar, a VSL, live streams, live events, things like that. Again, I've used these funnels in tandem to add multiple six figures of revenue to all sorts of online businesses. And if you want help with this, then I'd love to explore what working together might look like. My program right now is one-on-one coaching for agency owners specifically. And if you'd like to explore what working together would look like, you can schedule a 15-minute one-on-one call. We'll take a deep dive on your business. We'll look at what your bottlenecks are, what you need to do to move forward to start signing more clients, to balance all the things, the fulfillment, the marketing, the sales in your business, so that you can kind of break through your plateau, start signing more clients, start bringing on more revenue, and give yourself a foundation to scale up to 7 figures. So if that sounds good to you, if you're an agency owner and you already have some clients and you're amazing at what you do and you just want some help getting to the next level, you can comment the word VIP below, and I will follow up with you to schedule a call, and I'll send you a DM. We'll have a little back and forth. We'll kind of explore whether or not this is a good fit, and we'll have a short, no pressure chat where you'll get some value on how to grow your business, whether we decide to work together or not. So again, in short, you need an attention funnel. You need to get people opting into your email list. You need to nurture that attention and invite people to some kind of conversion event where they have an opportunity to become a client. And once again, if you want help with this, comment VIP below. Again, this simple strategy has helped add multiple 6 figures of revenue to all types of online businesses, and even 7 figures when you have a big enough audience. So anyways, guys, hope you got a ton of value out of this. Be sure to like the video and comment VIP below if you got some value out of this and you want to take things to the next level, and schedule a call to explore what working together might look like. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next live.